In a world much like ours, I discovered something incredible, a way to reverse time. This story isn't about complex physics or incomprehensible theories. It's about me, an ordinary person with an extraordinary discovery. I'm Alex, a software developer with a passion for science fiction. My life was routine: work, home, sleep, and the occasional night out. But everything changed when I stumbled upon an old, dusty book at a garage sale. It was filled with theories about time and space, written in a way that was surprisingly easy to grasp. The more I read, the more I became obsessed with the idea of reversing time. At first, it was just a hobby, something to ponder over during my free time. I started experimenting in my small home lab, using basic equipment and materials I could afford. My friends thought I was crazy, chasing a fantasy, but I couldn't shake the feeling that I was onto something. Then one rainy night, it happened. I had rigged up a contraption of wires, magnets, and computer parts, all centered around an old clock. I had no real expectation of success, but as the clock struck midnight, a brilliant blue light filled the room. The air seemed to shimmer, and I felt a strange sensation, like the world was stretching and snapping back. When the light faded, I looked around in disbelief. My lab was different. The computer screens showed dates from last week. I raced to my window and saw scenes from days gone by. The rain that had been falling moments ago was now just gathering in the clouds. I had done it. I had reversed time. The realization hit me like a ton of bricks. The possibilities were endless. I could undo mistakes, relive my best moments, and even change my future. But with this power came responsibility. What if I changed something critical? What if my actions had unforeseen consequences? I decided to test my powers cautiously. Small changes at first: avoiding a spilled coffee, reliving a particularly good day at work, seeing my favorite band in concert again. Each successful attempt filled me with exhilaration and terror. But then, things started to get complicated. I realized that even the smallest changes had ripple effects. People I'd never met would act differently around me. Unexpected events would occur, and sometimes I'd return to a present slightly altered from the one I knew. The burden of this power began to weigh heavily on me. I understood that with every trip back, I was playing with the fabric of reality. The fear of causing irreversible damage grew with each use of my device. One day, I met someone new, Sarah, who quickly became important to me. We shared interests, laughed at the same jokes, and before I knew it, I was falling for her. But then during a date, something went wrong. A small argument escalated, and in a moment of frustration, I decided to reverse time to fix it. But when I returned, Sarah was different. She didn't remember some of our conversations, and our connection seemed to have faded. It dawned on me that in fixing one small mistake, I had altered our entire relationship. That was my turning point. I realized that some things are meant to happen, that our mistakes and experiences shape us. I couldn't keep altering time without losing what made my life mine. So, I dismantled my machine. I chose to live in the present, to accept my mistakes, and cherish my experiences as they came. I learned to appreciate the imperfections of life, understanding that it's the unexpected turns that make our stories worth telling. My adventure with time taught me more than I could have imagined. It showed me the beauty of the present, the importance of our choices, and the unpredictable nature of life. I may not have the power to change the past anymore, but I have the power to shape my future, and that's more than enough.